YouTube? I am Michael James, and in this video, you're going to learn charcoal tips, tricks, and techniques that will help you improve your drawings. Let's check it out. Welcome back to Michael James Fine Art. If you are new to this channel, I am Michael James, a freelance fine artist creating to spread positivity and good vibes. And in this video, I'm going to teach you charcoal drawing tips, tricks, and techniques so that you can start improving your charcoal drawings today. A lot of people think that charcoal is a very difficult medium to work with, but I'm going to show you how easy it really is. So grab a piece of paper, hit that like and subscribe button down below, and above all, stay healthy and stay happy. Let's get it. All right, a charcoal portrait for today. Charcoal drawings, portraits, figures, really anything can be a little intimidating at first as you only have values to work with. But we're going to go through some of our techniques today and see if we can't make it a little easier for everybody out there. First and foremost, we're going to go over our charcoal tools and what paper we're working on, because that is very important when it comes to charcoal drawings of any kind, really. So we are using Vine or Willow charcoal sticks, General's charcoal pencils, a soft, which is a 4B, and a hard, which is an HB. Charcoal powder, both from a jar as well as when we sharpen our pencils. We're saving all of the charcoal shavings. Cloth rag or a paper towel, as well as assorted brushes to remove charcoal, to brush it around, to move it across the paper. And finally, some blending stumps or tortillons. And those are just rolled paper, again, used similar to a charcoal pencil, where we will dip them in charcoal powder and then use them for specific shapes. So those are the tools we're going to be using in this video, and we work from light to dark. So Vine or Willow charcoal sticks are what we will use first, as those marks can be picked up almost entirely, as well as even a hard charcoal pencil. And the reason we like these, because the lead is more dense, it puts down a very fine line that doesn't get too dark. So you can do a good bit of sketching as well with a hard charcoal pencil. We start sketching the outline, creating big simple shapes like the eye socket, the bridge of the nose, the chin, the jawline, and throughout the face, focusing on large shapes and overall proportions. So we begin with the sketch outline, creating simple shapes, focusing on the large shapes and overall proportions of the face. We really want to get a pretty accurate sketch in this beginning phase, because that will lay the groundwork for all of our future marks. In charcoal, it's important to work light to dark, because once you put down a mark that is a dark charcoal, it is going to be difficult lift up that mark and get it back to a white clean paper. The paper we are working on today actually is a newsprint, which is a very bad paper to use for charcoal portraits. It's not very receptive to erasers, it can tear easily, and you can only pick up charcoal so many times. This was a rough study, so we were working on newsprint today, but we normally use a Bristol Smooth, 400 Smooth to be specific. And this is almost like a poster board where you can pick up a very, very thick dark charcoal mark and almost get it right back to a perfect zero value of white. But today the paper is working against us, so we have to make sure that our first marks we're putting down are in fact close to being exactly where we need them to be. So again, we're going in light to dark and continuing from our early sketches and large shapes that we put down. And once we are happy with the beginning sketches and early shapes, we go in with some accurate values. At this point, we want to find our lightest light and darkest dark that will give us the range of values, our midtones, our highlights, and so on. We also begin putting in smaller details and more acute shapes that actually sometimes begin connecting all the shapes from the early sketch. So if you have an eye socket and a nose bridge, now you might put in a space in between that's going to connect the two, as well as connect the other eye. Shading, shapes, values, you're putting in all your new values. As we continue building up the values and the correct marks that we're putting down, we're being cautious not to put down anything too dark until we are positive that's its location. And we also want to tone out the paper. So we don't want our midtones to remain white. We need our highlights to remain the lightest light and our dark values to remain the darkest dark where they should be. That is the only way we'll find our midtones and continue picking out more acute shapes. I just want to take 1 second to ask that you guys please like and subscribe down below. Hit that bell so you don't miss any future content. It greatly helps the channel, and we have a lot more fun artwork on the way. Now we're going to get right back into it with a couple of the final marks and finishing thoughts here. We are beginning with some really dark values because we started with a nice simple sketching outline. We began putting in our accurate midtones, darkest dark, lightest lights, and some more accurate shapes. And now we are towards the end where we can finish off with details, subtle shadows, and continue building up the charcoal on the surface of the paper. So at this stage, we finally want to add all of our subtle marks, all small marks that are going to bring that piece to a completed state. So we're focusing on edges, details, acute shapes. It's no different than the beginning or middle stages. We are still finding shapes, only at this point they are smaller and more specific, and sometimes far more subtle. We continue to check our values, angles, and proportions the whole time we are working, and especially as we get close to the end. But it is very crucial to check your values, angles, drawing, shapes continuously as you're working so that you do not reach this state and realize it's all wrong. So you don't want to be working on an eye socket and realize at the end of the drawing that the chin, the mouth, and the neck does not connect to the head. So you really want to continue focusing on the whole piece as you work in small sections as well. We want the piece to feel complete and accurate as we are closing in on these final marks. So again, we want it to feel all similar from start to finish, from top to bottom, from left to right. We want it to be very balanced. And now we are getting into the smallest and subtle changes to really complete the piece. We like to add our signature towards the end, not as the final marks, because a few eraser marks and a few more checks and changes of values are usually what brings us to the final piece. We do like to sign it, as we said earlier, because it's part of the piece, it is part of the composition, and you want to make sure that that signature does not in fact weaken the piece. So we are checking our values, our edges, every little detail that we want. We are choosing what we want to add, what we want to leave out at this point, if there's values that need changing, and then once we can't find anything that we would like to improve, it is complete and on to the next one. Thank you guys for watching, and I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like and subscribe down below, as it greatly helps the channel. And remember, we are live streaming right here Monday through Friday, and would love to have you join us. If you guys want to watch the full live stream or check out some of our oil painting, the links will be on the screen very shortly. We can't wait to create more art with you. And until next time, if you don't know it, I'm going to say it, but please, everybody out there, stay healthy and stay happy. Much love, gang.